more practically, as if those things weren't practical, they're very, very practical, but let's just say more practically, you want to also choose the best possible language learning materials. And this step is tricky, but it's very doable. First, you just have to accept that some risk is going to be involved. You might end up buying a book or course that just doesn't suit you. Now, personally, I treat it all as research and don't get emotionally involved. In fact, I allow myself to be open to revisiting any resource I purchased in the past again in the future, because we as humans can be tremendously fickle. It might not be that the book or course was bad. It's entirely possible that we were either not ready for it yet, or we were just having a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, or a bad year. So we can be more generous to ourselves and perhaps go back to the things that we already have before trying to get the next new shiny object, as if that was going to help any better than what was already sitting there in our closet. Now, a subset of choosing the best materials for learning a language is to limit the amount of sources. So let's say you've got a closet full of stuff that you haven't gone through appropriately enough. Well, rather than dig them all out, go in and just dig one out. When learning a language, we want tons of input, but that doesn't mean that you want it from tons of sources. So I would suggest you take a tip that I've benefited from Ollie Richards from storylearning.com. And he has advised at a certain time that, pick at maximum one book, one video or audio program, and one teacher. And by doing this, we give ourselves ample opportunity to experience the levels of processing effect that I talked about before without overwhelming ourselves with endless possible materials that we could be using. So embracing limits helps us maximize our investment in the materials and enjoy the benefits of thoroughness, but also the psychological benefits of being a thorough learner. So my personal rule of thumb is to stick with something for at least 90 days. And this is what I did when I was first exposing myself to many of the languages that I've learned, and just sit there with one thing for 90 days without the shiny new textbooks in my path and really milk them for all that they're worth. It's very, very valuable.